Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today, we're diving into why Japan is a better place to live than Western Europe. First up, let's talk about the cost of living. Guess what? Japan, the land of sushi, is now cheaper to live in than most of Western Europe. Yes, you heard that right. Thanks to a weakened Japanese yen, daily life in Japan has become much more wallet-friendly. We'll compare everything from real estate prices to the ease of getting a residence permit, safety, shopping convenience, and transportation. So stay tuned, and if you enjoy this video, allow me to beg for some likes. You can also share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like that. Let's get started. Firstly, we will start talking about the cost of living. Guess what? Japan, the land of high-tech video games, is now cheaper to live in than most of Western Europe. Yes, you heard that right. Thanks to a weakened Japanese yen and other factors, daily life in Japan has become much more wallet-friendly. You can enjoy this if you are coming to Japan for a short time, as well as if you become a resident. Let's talk numbers. When you compare the cost of living in Japan to that of Western Europe, it's like night and day. Countries like France and the UK, which had a comparable cost of living with Japan, are now being outpaced by Japan's newfound affordability. Even Lisbon, often hailed as Europe's budget-friendly darling, is oftentimes cheaper than Tokyo. According to Numbeo, Tokyo, Japan's dazzling capital, is actually cheaper overall than Lisbon. Who would have thought that Tokyo's neon lights would shine a little brighter on a smaller budget? And it's not just Tokyo. From Osaka to Fukuoka, the cost of housing, food, and daily expenses across Japan is delightfully reasonable. For expats, digital nomads, and travelers, this means Japan is not only a land of rich culture and delicious cuisine, but also a place where your money goes further. So, while Europe might have its charms, Japan is proving to be a more affordable and, dare we say, more exciting option for those looking to stretch their yen and their smiles a bit wider. We can't talk about the cost of living in Japan without diving into the world of real estate. Sure, Tokyo's property prices can make your eyes water faster than cutting an onion, but the rest of the country tells a different story. Move away from the capital's glittering skyscrapers, and you'll find real estate deals that are sweeter than a freshly picked Fuji apple. Thanks to Japan's demographic conundrums and its relatively low levels of immigration, the country is facing a bit of a vacancy crisis. Picture this: more houses than people to fill them. That is the new reality in some parts of Japan. And here's the kicker: foreigners have similar rights to buy property in Japan as locals do. So, if you've ever dreamed of owning a quaint countryside home or a stylish apartment with a view of Mount Fuji, now's your chance. Check out the prices in smaller cities and rural areas, and you'll be in for a pleasant surprise. While Tokyo's real estate market might still be as high as Mount Fuji itself, other regions offer bargains that are hard to beat. From charming towns with historic homes to serene coastal villages, affordable real estate options abound. So, if you're ready to pack your bags and embrace a life of sushi, cherry blossoms, and affordable housing, Japan might just be your ideal destination. Japan used to be like that exclusive club that you heard about, although you knew it was pretty tough to get in. But times are changing, and Japan is loosening up its strict immigration regulations thanks to its demographic problems. These days, getting a visa or residence permit in Japan is not as easy as ordering sushi on a conveyor belt, but not as hard as making your own sushi from scratch. Take the new digital nomad visa, for example. Just a few years ago, the idea of Japan having a visa for globetrotting laptop warriors was quite far-fetched. But now, Japan welcomes digital nomads with open arms and possibly a cup of matcha. And if you've ever fancied starting your own business in Japan, you're in luck. You can open a company and sponsor your own visa, making your entrepreneurial dreams in the land of the rising sun a reality. Despite these changes, Japan's unique status as an island nation with a notoriously tricky language means it's unlikely to face the kind of refugee crisis seen in Europe. The combination of geographic isolation and the challenge of learning kanji is a pretty effective gatekeeper. So while Japan is opening its doors wider than ever, it's still got some built-in safeguards that keep the influx manageable. All this makes Japan an intriguing option for those looking to live and work in a fascinating and increasingly accessible country. When it comes to public safety, Japan is like that overachiever in school who always got straight A's. The crime level here is so low, it's practically underground. Even in sprawling metropolises like Tokyo, you'll often feel safer strolling around at midnight than you would walking through some Western European cities at noon. Japan's low level of violent crime is something of a marvel. Here, headlines about muggings or violent assaults are rarer than landing a good corporate job in 2024. It's not just Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and other big cities share this gold standard reputation for safety. So, if you're out late exploring neon-lit streets or enjoying a midnight ramen run, you can breathe easy, knowing that Japan's streets are some of the safest in the world. In fact, Japan's dedication to safety can seem almost superhuman. It's like they've cracked the code on creating a serene society where even the thought of violent crime is nearly non-existent. With such a tranquil and secure environment, you can focus on enjoying all that Japan has to offer, from its rich cultural heritage to its modern marvels, without constantly looking over your shoulder. So pack your bags and leave your worries behind. Japan's got your back. Now let's talk about how convenient it is to live in Japan. Here's a quirky but surprisingly handy perk of living in Japan. The supermarkets and convenience stores are practically always open. In countries like Germany and France, trying to find an open supermarket on a Sunday can feel like searching for an oasis in the desert. Guess what? They're all closed. But in Japan, you can pop into a supermarket at any hour, day or night. Need milk at 3 a.m.? No problem. Craving a midnight snack? They've got you covered. Japan takes convenience to a whole new level with its ubiquitous convenience stores, or konbini. These little wonders are scattered all over the place, and finding one is as easy as buying something you don't actually need from them. And the best part? Most of them are open most of the time. Whether you're looking for a quick meal, an umbrella on a rainy day, or just a place to pay your bills, konbinis are there to save the day, no matter what time it is. Now, it's true that not all Western European countries follow the Sunday shutdown rule. For instance, in the UK, you can still find supermarkets open on Sundays. But the convenience of round-the-clock shopping in Japan is hard to beat. It's like having a personal assistant always ready to cater to your whims, making everyday life just that little bit easier and a lot more convenient. Now let's talk transportation. When it comes to public transport, Japan is in a league of its own. While French trains seem to go on strike more often than they go on time, and German trains often arrive fashionably late, Japan's trains run with the precision of a samurai sword. In Japan, whether you're catching a local train, hopping on a Shinkansen bullet train, or just taking the bus, you can set your watch by their punctuality. The urban transport systems, from Tokyo's intricate subway maze to Kyoto's sleek buses, are like a symphony of efficiency, making daily commutes a breeze rather than a battle. And the intercity options? Well, let's just say the Shinkansen makes traveling across Japan faster and smoother than most European trains. Japan's public transport is like that reliable friend who's always on time, never flakes, and somehow always knows the best route to take. So, while Europe might offer some charmingly unpredictable travel experiences, Japan's transport system is a well-oiled machine, ensuring you get from point A to point B with minimal fuss and maximum efficiency. So, there you have it. Japan, the land of the rising sun, is currently shining a bit brighter than Western Europe when it comes to livability. From its surprisingly affordable cost of living and real estate bargains to its welcoming approach to immigration and unbeatable public safety, Japan is a fantastic place to call home. Add in the 24/7 convenience of its supermarkets and convenience stores and a public transport system that runs like clockwork, and you've got a recipe for a life that will be certainly less complicated than in Europe, apart from the language aspect, obviously. What do you think? Could you see yourself living in Japan, enjoying the seamless blend of modern convenience and ancient tradition? Have you experienced both Japan and Western Europe, and how do they compare for you? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, it is time for me to beg for a heartwarming like that you can give by hitting the like button. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.